Welcome to The Deep Dive, the show where we take a stack of your sources, research, and our own notes and distill them into the most important nuggets of knowledge and insight, all custom-tailored for you, our curious listener.
That's right.
Today, we're diving deep into a world of, well, breathtaking mansions, high-stakes deals, and, let's be honest, utterly captivating drama.
Oh, yeah.
You know the kind of show I'm talking about, the ones that promise to pull back the curtain on these glamorous lives that seem almost, too good to be true.
Indeed. We're talking about the phenomenon of luxury real estate reality TV, and specifically the Netflix series that transports us to the sun-drenched, high-end world of Orange County, Selling the OC.
That's the one. Our mission in this deep dive is really to go beyond the on-screen antics you've seen. We're going to explore what truly drives the drama, how much of that reality is actually, well, real, and the authentic hustle and compelling personal stories behind the polished exteriors of these agents. You've provided us with some fascinating insights from various sources, including revealing Reddit discussions from dedicated fans and some really candid cast interviews.
Yeah, and we're absolutely ready to unpack them.
What's truly intriguing here, I think, is that the biggest feuds and the most confusing conflicts on this show might not just be about personalities clashing or deals going sour.
Right.
What if they're deeply intertwined with the very act of making the show itself?
Exactly. What if the drama you're watching is being shaped by agents actively angling for screen time, and maybe the producers are intentionally keeping you in the dark about that?
Letting the on-screen reality get skewed by off-screen ambitions.
It just changes everything, doesn't it? Okay, let's unpack this.
Let's do it.
So, Selling the OC presents itself as this captivating glimpse into the lives of real estate agents at the Oppenheim Group. We see them navigating professional challenges, interpersonal feuds, even romantic entanglements. Right, the promise is friendly feuds, blowout fights, love drama. That's the stated premise.
Yeah, that's what they tell you. You watch, you see these conflicts, and you naturally assume it's just personalities clashing in a high-pressure, high-stakes environment. It makes sense on the surface.
That's the surface level, yes. However, the material you've given us reveals this critical underlying factor that fundamentally redefines the show's reality.
Okay.
It suggests a major source of the drama on Selling the OC is people in the office angling behind the scenes to be included in the cast and/or get more screen time.
Wow. So, jockeying for position on the show itself.
Exactly. This background reality of making the show directly infects the reality of the show, yet the producers apparently go out of their way to pretend like this is not the case.
Which leads to viewer confusion. I can see that.
Yeah, it's a deliberate obfuscation, it seems.
And boy, does it. I distinctly remember watching the first 2 seasons and feeling just incredibly confused by the intense animosity directed at Alexandra Jarvis and Alexandra Rose, especially from Alex Hall and Polly Brindle. Sure, Jarvis sometimes came off as, bitchy and condescending. You could kind of see that.
Right, viewers picked up on that.
But the show only vaguely alluded to something she and Rose did, and they knew what they did, without ever explicitly saying what it was.
Right, leaving you hanging.
Totally. It just felt so hollow and nonsensical because there was no coherent context for such deep-seated, persistent anger. Viewers were left scratching their heads, feeling like they'd missed something crucial.
And this raises a really important question. Why were viewers left so utterly in the dark about the root cause of such significant on-screen conflict?
Yeah, why?
Well, the true reason for this animosity was what our sources call a meta-narrative that was never aired.
A meta-narrative. Okay, explain that.
So for our listeners, a meta-narrative in this context is basically a story about the making of the show itself. It's running beneath the on-screen drama, but the producers intentionally hid it.
Got it, like a hidden layer.
Exactly. Polly Brindle, in a pretty candid podcast interview, disclosed that Jarvis and Rose engaged in shady, behind-the-scenes stuff to weasel their way onto the show.
Shady stuff. Okay. And Alex Hall, in another interview, she elaborated on this, saying that Jarvis and Rose were originally not supposed to be on the show.
Right.
And the rest of the cast had actually been told this before filming started.
So imagine their surprise.
Exactly. So when they unexpectedly showed up during initial filming, Hall's on-screen question, "Why are you here?" Was it just some general, like, rhetorical thing about them being at work?
No, it was literal.
It was a literal, deeply frustrated question about their unexpected on-camera role, knowing they weren't supposed to be part of the main cast.
Wow, that changes the whole tone of that scene.
Completely. It
Mm.
transforms a casual line into this really loaded accusation.
And what's fascinating here is that this perceived maneuver to get screen time massively angered the Hall clique. It was seen as a betrayal, right? A cynical manipulation of the show's casting process. The core problem, as highlighted by the sources we looked at, is that the producers refused to air anything that would suggest the show itself is the source of the tension.
So they protect the illusion.
Precisely. This deliberate omission forces viewers to piece together these weird crumbs for the real issue, which is a major disservice if you want to understand the show's internal dynamics. It often leads to misinterpretations of why characters are acting the way they are.
It totally makes sense now. But it's not just Jarvis and Rose, is it? Let's look at the Sean Palmieri versus Austin Victoria and Tyler Stanaland feud.
Ah, yes, that one.
On screen, the intensity of Tyler and Austin's attacks on Sean Palmieri for not selling any houses and not being a real realtor, it just seems so odd to viewers.
Yeah, a bit out of proportion, maybe?
Right. I mean, it is pretty clearly established that his function at the O Group was always more marketing than anything else, wasn't it? He wasn't necessarily positioned as the top seller.
That's how it seemed, yeah. So the criticism felt misplaced.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So why the targeted, intense criticism of his sales figures? It felt personal.
Precisely. And this attack only really makes more sense when you consider the meta perspective, right? The underlying reality of the show's production.
Okay, so what's the meta angle there?
The strong suggestion from our sources is that Sean probably got himself a bigger role this season by coming to the producers with the Austin threesome story, and Tyler too.
Whoa, so he brought the gossip to get more airtime.
That's the allegation, a controversial piece of gossip that promised major on-screen drama. So Austin and Tyler were understandably pissed that he was rewarded with a bigger role, and they are forced to interact with him more because of this behind-the-scenes maneuver.
But they couldn't say that on camera.
Exactly. They can't say they are pissed for the behind-the-scenes stuff.
So instead of saying, we're mad you went to the producers with this story to get more screen time and mess with our lives, they
lash out at him for not being a real realtor, as though only realtors should be part of the main cast.
It's a classic proxy war, isn't it? The public justification hides the private, show-related grievance.
Perfectly put. And the source material also points out that the anti-Sean crowd all had huge cryptic falling outs with him sometime between Season 2 and Season 3, before the threesome allegations publicly emerged during Season 3.
Oh, interesting timing.
Yeah, which strongly suggests Sean used them to make his play to get more screen time this season, was the underlying root cause of the bad blood, with the public drama just serving as a convenient, maybe manufactured excuse for their on-screen animosity.
This really raises an important question then. How much of the reality in these reality shows is actually about the reality of being on a reality show?
That's the core of it. Pauly Brindle explicitly states there's 100% more drama off camera than on.
100% more. Wow.
And that some massive beef between cast members has nothing to do with real estate, but with show-related matters, meaning it's about their roles, their screen time, perceived betrayals within the show's production.
And she explains that producers actively avoid showing this. Because it's kind of like, you can't talk about Fight Club. You don't want to break that fourth wall and talk about the show stuff.
Right, that fourth wall, that invisible barrier separating the audience from the show's world, making it feel a pure reality.
Yeah.
To acknowledge the meta-narrative would be to shatter that illusion,
Right.
reveal the strings behind the puppets. It could diminish the perceived authenticity of the whole thing.
Which they obviously don't want.
No. This active avoidance of the meta-narrative is a big issue on shows like this, leading to plots that can feel completely hollow and nonsensical because there's no coherent context for anything.
Yeah, it leaves the viewer trying to connect dots that the show deliberately hides. It fosters confusion rather than, like, genuine understanding of what's going on between people.
It's a form of kayfabe, almost, like in professional wrestling, where performers maintain the fiction as if it's real, even outside the ring.
That's a great analogy. So what's the real nugget here for you, our listener?
I think it's that the drama you think you're watching is often this high-stakes, off-screen battle for screen time, carefully hidden by producers.
Yeah. Once you see reality TV through this meta lens, every conflict takes on this new, far more calculating dimension.
Absolutely. It's like a shortcut to being well-informed about the underlying forces at play. It allows you to see past the manufactured confusion and maybe grasp what's really driving the drama.
It forces you to ask,
Yeah.
are these people genuinely feuding, or are they just, vying for the camera's
Yeah.
attention? It's a fundamental shift in perspective.
If the show itself is shaping the drama, that definitely raises big questions about how authentic the cast members truly are, doesn't it?
For sure.
So let's maybe hear directly from them, particularly Polly Brindle, who offers some incredibly unfiltered insights into what's real and what's for the cameras.
Yes, Polly is very open about it. I mean, she refers to Sean Palmieri as he who shall not be named.
Strong words.
Right. And labels him as desperate to get screen time, making up lies, and even a fucking psychopath.
Huh.
Her language is really strong. It underscores the depth of her frustration with him.
Yeah, no holding back there.
And she clarifies that the beef on the show that you see is cut so that, we're saying, Sean, you're just doing this it's doing this, but they can't show that because they don't want to show that.
So she's confirming that producers are deliberately editing out the meta motivations, forcing the audience to kind of misinterpret the conflict.
Exactly. She even notes that Sean has disappeared, implying he's been exiled from Netflix, suggesting maybe there were consequences for his alleged actions behind the scenes.
Interesting. And she doesn't just single out Sean, right? She broadly characterizes her on-screen adversaries as shitty people whose moral compass is off.
Yeah, she calls them social climbers who are desperate for screen time and not genuine.
So it goes beyond simple personality clashes. It's a fundamental critique of their perceived authenticity, driven by what she sees as this ruthless pursuit of fame at any cost.
Yeah, you can imagine how that kind of internal friction where agents are competing not just for listings but for camera time creates a very different kind of office environment than, a typical workplace.
Definitely. But what's fascinating here is that for Polly, the most horrific part of being on the show is the lack of control that you get over the narrative and the way that the public reacts.
I can imagine that's tough.
Yeah, she acknowledges that with millions of viewers globally, you're never going to please everyone, and she finds it mind-blowing when some viewers support those she sees as terrible people.
But she stands by her actions.
She does. Despite this, she affirms, I 100% agree with myself, and is comfortable with who I am portrayed to be on the show, stating she is not playing a different character when the cameras are rolling.
That takes a lot of self-possession, I think, to withstand that kind of public scrutiny and still feel solid in who you are.
Absolutely. And she also confirms Jarvis's departure, stating Jarvis is not a part of it anymore, and that Jarvis fucked everyone over and realized that she had no friends. Yeah, and she reiterates that Jarvis was not Rosie's friend, did not like her, and was using her because she needed her to get on the show, since neither Jarvis nor Rose were original cast members but pushed their way on.
So that links directly back to that meta-narrative we discussed. It provides a much more concrete, even if unaired, reason for the cast's animosity towards Jarvis and Rose, beyond just vague, they knew what they did.
Exactly. And Polly describes Jarvis as very, very condescending and implies highly inappropriate behavior with married men, which, would certainly fuel the real-life office dynamics, whether filmed or not.
Okay, so we have the cast members' perspectives, but what about the producer's role in all this and the evidence of, actual staging?
Right, because Jason Oppenheim, the co-founder, he claims that scenes are timed for cameras but aren't part of a script.
That's his line.
Yeah. He says agents will be asked to wait to make sure if we get everything on camera, but insists none of the real estate agents follow a script. His narrative leans heavily into the idea that the drama is organic, just captured by the cameras.
But that perspective is significantly contrasted by, say, Christine Quinn from Selling Sunset, right? She's publicly claimed her show forged fake storylines.
She definitely has. Claiming producers would actively encourage or even invent drama for the camera. And beyond just claims, Screen Rant points to amateur editing errors that break the continuity as potential clues the show's scenes might be staged.
Like what kind of errors?
Like objects, beverages specifically, appearing and disappearing around the table in a scene between Kayla Cardona and Sean Palmieri.
Oh, those continuity errors. Yeah, those really undermine the show's claim to reality for the attentive viewer.
They do. And similar inconsistencies were apparently noted in a scene between Alex Hall and Polly discussing Tyler's kiss, like an object in the background vanished and reappeared.
Okay, those aren't just minor mistakes then. They suggest that scenes are not always seamless or organic and might involve multiple takes or restaging.
Which indicates a level of artificiality that maybe goes beyond simply timing for cameras.
Yeah. Then there's Tyler Stanland's whole on-screen flirting thing. His public flirting with Alex, Polly, and Kayla in both seasons was widely questioned by viewers.
It definitely raised eyebrows.
It certainly seemed like he was portraying a character to create drama while continuing his real-life marriage with Brittany Snow.
That behavior felt so incongruous with his actual marital status at the time that it led many to believe he was just performing for the camera, playing a role designed to generate storylines.
And then his divorce from actress Brittany Snow was announced as this mutual decision made with love and mutual respect, with no mention of infidelity.
Right, which further fueled speculation that his on-screen behavior was entirely for the cameras, like a crafted storyline separate from his private life.
It felt like a deliberate choice to provide a narrative arc for the show, rather than a genuine reflection of his personal relationships at the time.
And then we also have the case of the newest cast member, Alexandra Ali Harper, former model, Miss Tennessee winner.
Right, and she was hired by the O Group without a license at the time her casting was announced.
Yeah, that detail led some viewers on social media to label the situation as very fake, questioning the authenticity of her role as a real estate agent on a show about real estate if she didn't even have the fundamental qualification.
That kind of casting choice definitely blurs the lines between genuine professional and, reality TV personality.
So what does this all really lead to? What's the conclusion?
Well, ultimately, selling the OC is likely somewhere in between, right? Which
Yeah.
seems pretty common for reality TV.
Yeah, it's usually a blend.
It's a mix of authentic personalities and genuine real estate work, combined with amplified drama and potentially staged scenarios or performances to create compelling television. It's not entirely scripted, probably, but it's certainly not pure, unadulterated reality either.
It exists in that fascinating gray area.
So the profound takeaway here, maybe.
I think it's that even the most authentic reality star is, by necessity, navigating a crafted performance to some degree. It forces us as viewers to question how much of what we call reality is actually a meticulously managed show, even beyond the screen.
Yeah, it offers a crucial lens. The on-screen drama is often a carefully crafted performance, and understanding that fundamentally shifts how you interpret every interaction and storyline you see.
Okay, so we've pulled back the curtain on the show's constructed reality and the agent's on-screen personas. But is it all just manufactured drama, or are these agents actually closing these huge multi-million-dollar deals?
Right, let's pivot now to the actual business, the real hustle beyond the drama. Because there's this common misconception about the cast members, particularly someone like Polly Brindle, that they don't really sell real estate, or that success just kind of landed to them.
Yeah, that they're just actors playing realtors.
Exactly. But our sources emphatically dispel this myth.
They absolutely do. Both Polly and her interviewer emphasize that the agents do move real estate. They're involved in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars of transactions they're done within, like, your guys' season.
Wow, hundreds of millions.
Yeah. This isn't merely a backdrop for their drama. It's a high-stakes, high-value business in one of the most desirable and competitive real estate markets in the world. They are selling legitimate assets in the most beautiful area in maybe the whole world.
It's incredible to hear those numbers.
Yeah.
And we have some major sales and notable properties from Season 3 just to highlight this genuine work they're doing. Kayla Cardona, for instance, started Season 3 with what they called Big Dock Energy
Oh, love that.
by showcasing her stunning Bayside listing in Corona del Mar. And this wasn't just any listing. It was one of the Oppenheim Group's most expensive properties at the time.
Which indicates real trust and high expectations placed upon her by Jason and Brett.
Absolutely. And this specific property, initially priced at a whopping $28 million.
$28 million.
It's a custom-built contemporary mansion spanning over 9,000 square feet with panoramic Newport Harbor views.
Just imagine walking into a home like that. Expansive open-plan layout, floor-to-ceiling glass, letting light flood in, a state-of-the-art luxury kitchen.
A primary suite with a wraparound balcony, a rooftop lounge, a zero-edge pool and spa, private courtyard.
5 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms across 4 levels with an elevator, naturally.
Of course, dedicated entertainment space and a subterranean 6-car garage. It's the kind of listing that demands a truly skilled agent to navigate.
No kidding. And did she sell it?
She did.
Did-
Kayla
yeah.
did sell the coveted listing for $25 million post-filming.
$25 million, that's huge.
Yeah, pocketing a big commission and ringing that celebratory bell back at the office. That's a massive sale for anyone, especially considering her personal background, which we can get into, but it proves she's not just there for the cameras.
Definitely not. And then you have Gio Halou and Polly Brindle. They teamed up, right?
Yeah, they successfully closed on a modern farmhouse of Newport Beach for $7,925,000.
Almost $8 million. Wow.
And this property, featured on the show, had a pristine design, high-end finishes, and this magnificent 1,000-plus Lanchmeet rooftop terrace, incredible outdoor living space.
So that collaboration highlights the genuine teamwork that can happen alongside all the drama.
For sure. And Austin Victoria also had a significant sale, closing on his old ranch property for $6.5 million.
$6.5 million, still big number.
Yeah, this 9,600 square foot home was beautifully staged to shed its past-themed rooms, which is kind of a fun detail for anyone interested in interior design and the art of selling.
Right. These aren't small deals by any stretch. These are multi-million-dollar transactions that require serious work, extensive networking, and a deep understanding of that luxury market.
Absolutely. It's not just showing up and smiling.
And beyond the sales, the show also tours some truly iconic properties, giving viewers a glimpse into the stratospheric end of the market, like that team trip to San Diego.
Yeah, the Coronado Castle.
Exactly. Jason Oppenheim took the cast to visit this famously expensive property, once listed for $39 million.
39.
Yeah. This 24,000 square foot architectural gem, protected by the Mills Act, which preserves historic structures, eventually sold for $28 million.
Still a huge number. And what was that crazy feature?
The standout feature. Its 26-seat home theater filled with life-size Star Wars memorabilia.
A Star Wars theater in a castle. That's peak Orange County luxury, isn't it? Just incredible.
Right. And Tyler Stanaland showcased that jaw-dropping $50 million listing in Laguna Niguel with his father, John Stanaland, who's a real estate tycoon in the area.
$50 million. I can't even picture that.
It's immense. Over 15,000 square feet, 6 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms on a sprawling 13-acre lot.
And the amenities sound like a resort.
Totally. Private cinema, 20-person spa, game room, putting greens, a gentleman's farm, a 2-story library, and even a stingray-shaped pool.
A stingray pool. And his dad gave him some advice too, right?
Yeah, John offered Tyler some classic familial advice saying, you can always come back to us. We still co-op on listings. Obviously, clients overlap, but we don't have time for, high school drama.
Huh. A clear nod to the difference between family business and reality TV dynamics.
Definitely. Which brings us nicely to the spectrum of professional commitment among the agents, which Polly Brindle talks about pretty openly.
Okay, what does she say?
Well, she praises Gio Halou for taking real estate very seriously, doing really well, and affirms his success is well-deserved.
So she respects his work ethic.
Yeah, and she includes herself in this category, stating she still will drive to open houses and do all the stuff that maybe other agents on the show might not bother with.
The less glamorous parts.
Right. She emphasizes that she's not money-driven, but results-driven, willing to work on any deal from $500,000 to $5 million without turning up her nose.
That illustrates a genuine dedication to the craft, regardless of the potential commission size. It sounds like she truly embodies that hustle mentality.
It does, but she also calls out what she sees as questionable commitment from some of her colleagues.
Oh, like who?
Polly alleges that Kayla Cardona thinks she takes real estate very seriously, but Polly has heard otherwise and claims the grunt work is not done.
Interesting. So what's the implication?
She suggests Kayla just shows up and expects to sell a $20 million house, implying maybe a lack of dedication to the foundational aspects of the business, the relationship building, the prospecting.
Gotcha. And what about Jarvis?
She also asserts that Jarvis doesn't sell real estate and merely used Rose to get on the show.
Which reinforces that meta-narrative, again, painting Jarvis as someone primarily interested in fame over actual sales.
Exactly. And Polly's insights also shed light on the intensely competitive and dog-eat-dog nature of high-end real estate.
Even within the same office.
Apparently so. She reveals she's been fucked pretty hard twice this year by very established agents who poached my clients.
Wow, client poaching. That's cutthroat.
Yeah, where an agent tries to steal another's client. And she highlights the difficulty of separating business and personal relationships when our network is the people that we are friends with, which makes betrayals like that feel deeply personal.
Yeah, it's incredibly tough.
Yeah.
And she mentioned something about unethical practices, too.
She did. She recounted instances of grown-ass men who are big agents apparently conning vulnerable clients. People going through emotional times like buying a dream home or selling a family home by misleading them to double-end deals.
Double ending. That's
And
representing both the buyer and seller, right? To get both sides of the commission.
exactly, often at the client's expense by not getting them the best possible deal. It creates a significant ethical dilemma within the industry.
It's such a stark contrast to the glossy, glamorous image we mostly see on screen.
Mm.
It reminds us there's a serious and sometimes ruthless underbelly to the business.
Yeah. The larger implication for you as a viewer is that this segment really peels back the layers of that real estate glamour.
Mm-hmm.
You discover that while the properties are undeniably real and monumental sales are made, the journey to closing these deals is often far more complex and competitive than it appears.
It involves genuine dedication, intense market knowledge, and navigating these challenging, sometimes ethically questionable professional landscapes.
It's a lot more than just showing up in a designer outfit and flashing a smile, that's for sure.
Okay, so we've seen the illusions of reality, heard the candid confessions from the cast, and explored the real hustle behind the glamour. Now, let's go even further behind the scenes and look at the agents themselves, their diverse personal stories, and their frankly surprising net worths. It reveals the individual journeys that led them to the Oppenheim Group.
Yeah, let's start at the top. What does the Oppenheim Group's financial hierarchy look like among the key players?
Well, at the very, very top, you have the co-founders, Jason and Brett Oppenheim. They are the wealthiest, each with an estimated net worth of around $50 million.
50 million each. Okay, they are clearly the titans of this real estate empire, built it from the ground up.
Absolutely, the ultimate beneficiaries of all those high-stakes commissions.
Makes sense. And among the actual selling the OC cast members we see on the show,
Alex Hall is reported to be the richest among them, with a net worth of approximately $5 million.
5 million. Still very successful.
Yeah, and she actually has a background in interior design, which I imagine really helps her visualize in stage homes. And she's a single mother of 2 children, which is pretty impressive given her level of success in such a demanding industry.
Definitely. Let's delve into some of the other individual agent profiles because their paths to wealth are quite diverse and often pretty unexpected.
Okay, like who?
Take Alexandra Jarvis, for example. Reported net worth of $4 million. She's multi-talented, worked as a model, a lawyer, and now a realtor.
A lawyer, too. Wow.
Yeah, and she achieved an impressive $40 million in sales in her first year alone.
$40 million in year 1. That's incredible.
Her background includes degrees in Spanish, international business, and law from UC Irvine School of Law with distinction. She credits that with providing her unmatchable skills in client advocacy, negotiations, and problem solving.
Sounds like it.
She recently married businessman Sergio du Colombier in Italy, but as we mentioned, she has exited the Shrino.
Right. Then there's Tyler Stanaland, also with an estimated net worth of $4 million.
James Jarvis. Interesting.
Yeah. And real estate clearly runs in his family, right? 6 generations involved in the business. He got his license at 18.
So young.
But initially pursued a completely different path as a professional surfer. Toured the world for years.
From pro surfer to luxury realtor. Quite a pivot.
It is. He later joined his father's luxury residential real estate firm, which is a major player in Orange County, before moving to the Oppenheim Group. And as we mentioned, he had that very public divorce from Pitch Perfect star Brittany Snow,
Right.
who, interestingly, has a higher net worth of $9 million. Just shows different avenues to success even within celebrity circles.
True. And Tyler, too, has now exited the show.
Yep. What about Austin Victoria?
Austin Victoria, net worth estimated at $3.5 million. Much of his wealth actually stems from a highly successful prior career as a model.
Oh, right. He was model first.
Yeah, working on campaigns for major fashion brands like American Eagle and Armani Exchange. So that background gave him significant visibility and a different kind of financial foundation before real estate.
That makes sense.
He started in real estate in 2017 and quickly became a lead agent after joining the O Group in 2021. He's married to fashion designer Lisa Victoria, and they have twin daughters.
And Gio Halou, also $3.5 million.
So $3.5 million, yeah. He truly comes from real estate royalty. His father, Carol Halou, is a prominent residential developer who actually built Gio's own impressive family home.
The one he listed.
Yeah, the one Gio recently listed for a staggering $15.8 million.
Wow.
Gio specializes in beachfront properties, was one of the first agents recruited by Jason for the OC branch, and surprisingly, previously worked as a documentary filmmaker.
A filmmaker, that's unexpected.
It is, and he celebrated hitting $100 million in sales in Season 2, showcasing his serious commitment and success in the field.
Okay, who's next? Brandy Marshall.
Brandy Marshall, estimated net worth of $3 million. She's a former public relations executive.
Ah, PR background. That must help.
Definitely. She spent about 15 years in real estate, where she's known as the great communicator and a sharp negotiator. Her PR skills undoubtedly give her an edge in client relations.
And she does charity work, too.
Yes, she's a significant contributor to the ALS Foundation and actively supports autism research, showing a commitment to philanthropy beyond her real estate career. And her husband, Sean Marshall, is a well-known professional basketball player.
Right. Adding another layer of public visibility.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about Polly Brindle. Her net worth is estimated between $1.5 million and $2 million.
A bit lower than some of the others, but still substantial.
Yeah. And she's originally from West Yorkshire, England. Started modeling at 15, spent 2 decades in the fashion industry, worked for brands like Lancôme, Dior, Aston Martin.
So a long career in a tough industry.
Definitely. She also acted under the name Polly Furnival in films like Rush, so she's no stranger to cameras. Moved to the U.S. in 2011, later became an American citizen, and juggled modeling acting with studying architecture and design.
Wow, architecture and design, too.
Yeah, and what's really interesting is that she was still studying for her real estate license when Jason Oppenheim offered her the job.
So she wasn't even fully licensed yet.
Apparently not. She herself states her biggest success has been literally me just being myself on the show, contrasting it with her past acting roles where she played a different character.
And her personal journey sounds like it was pretty rough.
Oh, quite a story of resilience and stark reality. She experienced a really traumatic period, including this grueling 4-year divorce after catching her husband with 2 sex workers,
Oh my God.
which ultimately led to him being blacklisted from America. Following this, she faced significant financial distress, losing all 3 of her jobs during the 2020 pandemic.
Wow, triple whammy.
Totally. She was in substantial debt from attorney fees and genuinely struggled to make ends meet, working multiple jobs from 8 a.m. to 2 a.m. just to survive.
That's insane hours.
Yeah. This challenging period led to a time of self-reflection, where she even admits to, smoking a lot of weed for 6 months before she courageously pivoted to real estate in Orange County.
That's quite a comeback story. And she didn't intend to be on the show.
No, she states, "It was never my intention to join the O group to be on a show. Jason Oppenheim just asked her to make her Instagram public because they were doing a new show, pulling her into this world almost by accident."
Huh. Interesting how that happens.
Yeah. Now, at 38, Polly is single, but ready for a partner and want to have children, even considering doing it alone. She acknowledges it's harder to meet people now that you're on TV,
I can imagine.
and has dated a couple of guys who missed the right direction, implying they were perhaps more interested in her fame than a genuine connection. She believes the show is a fleeting experience, doesn't expect it to last forever, but Orange County is home for now.
Her story really highlights the personal sacrifices and the unpredictable nature of being thrust into that reality TV spotlight.
Definitely. What about Alexandra Rose?
Alexandra Rose, net worth around $1 million. She holds a unique distinction. She was actually the first agent hired for the Oppenheim Group's OC branch.
The very first one,
No.
before the show.
Before the show even existed, yeah. With a background in finance and economics, she achieved nearly $100 million in sales in her first 4 years as a realtor, showing early success.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
And she shared something personal, too.
Yes, a poignant detail she shared on the show is that she was adopted at age 5, and her biological parents were homeless. Adds a layer of personal triumph to her professional achievements.
Yeah. And Kayla Cardona, also around $1 million to $2 million.
Yep, in that range. Started her real estate career in 2019, quickly became a top 1% agent, earned an Executive Club award. She's a single mom who had a difficult upbringing, being disowned by her family for being pregnant as a teen.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah. And she often works multiple jobs, including bartending at night, to support her son. She really emphasizes the reality of needing side hustles and immense dedication in the early years of real estate, especially in such a high-cost area.
It's a very down-to-earth perspective you don't always see amidst all the luxury.
Exactly. Then there's Sean Palmieri, net worth $1 million, Florida native, openly bisexual, gained recognition as one of the firm's favorite LGBTQ+ personalities on TV. Holds a bachelor's degree in advertising, previously worked in high-value real estate development in Florida before moving to California in 2018. He, too, has now exited the show.
Another one gone, Lauren Short.
Lauren Short, Brito, also around $1 million, closed over 150 homes in her 8-year real estate career, so consistent performance performance there. She was mentored by a top 1% agent, previously co-owned a family business, married fellow real estate agent Andrew Short in mid-2022.
Keeping it in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, the newest one, Allie Harper.
Alexandra. Ollie Harper, estimated net worth $1 million. Former beauty queen, Miss Tennessee USA 2017 journalism degree. And notably, as we discussed, she was hired without a license at the time.
Right, the detail that raised eyebrows among viewers about the reality of her role.
Exactly.
This brings us to the broader impact of fame and all these cast departures. Polly notes that significant challenge of finding genuine guys when you're on TV.
Yeah, the public attention complicating personal relationships.
And she realistically views the show, despite its success, as a fleeting experience. It's not meant to last forever, which underscores the temporary nature of their celebrity.
And we've seen those significant departures recently. Tyler Stanaland, Sean Palmieri, Alexandra Jarvis.
It definitely raises questions about the future cast dynamics and whether the show can maintain its current level of compelling drama with an evolving roster.
For sure. And finally, a surprising and kind of sobering point that goes beyond the glamour: safety concerns.
Oh yeah, tell me about that.
The hosts of our Source podcast discussed the frightening reality of living in these luxury areas. Pauly cited instances of people being followed home for their expensive jewelry in LA.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, and Jason Oppenheim himself, despite his immense wealth, reportedly lives in an apartment with security and actively avoids wearing expensive watches in public.
Even Jason Oppenheim.
Yeah. It highlights these serious, often unseen safety concerns that come with their lifestyle and visibility. Pauly asserted she definitely left LA at the right time, indicating a tangible threat.
It really brings home that even with all the glamour and wealth, there are very real dangers these public figures face.
Absolutely. Ultimately, what this whole segment reveals is that beneath the glamour and the on-screen drama, these cast members are individuals with incredibly diverse backgrounds,
Yeah.
often overcoming significant personal struggles and pursuing ambitious career paths. Their success is frequently hard-won, built on years of hustle and resilience.
And even their fame comes with its own unique set of challenges, from navigating personal relationships to serious security concerns.
It's a powerful reminder that their lives, even when televised and seemingly effortless, are deeply complex and multifaceted.
So we've navigated the intriguing world of selling the OC, exploring its unique blend of high-end real estate, intense personal drama, and that complex, often hidden meta-narrative that shapes its on-screen reality.
We've seen how agents subtly, and sometimes not so subtly, angle for screen time, how producers meticulously manage what's shown and what's hidden, and how the authentic hustle of selling multi-million-dollar properties coexists with the performative aspects of reality television. It's a real balancing act.
What selling the OC ultimately offers, then, is this fascinating look at how personal ambition, professional life, and the demanding machinery of television production can intertwine.
Creating this layered reality where the truth is often found somewhere in between what's explicitly presented on screen.
Yeah, the show's reality is less about perfectly scripted lines and more about that background reality of making the show, influencing the on-screen drama.
It's a subtle but powerful force shaping everything you see once you know what to look for.
So the next time you settle in to binge watch your favorite reality TV series, maybe consider this. What hidden battles for visibility might be shaping the dramatic confrontations you're witnessing?
Are you truly seeing unadulterated reality? Or are you engaging with a meticulously crafted narrative where the lines between the authentic person and the on-screen persona are expertly blurred for your entertainment?
And maybe more profoundly, what does that mean for how we as viewers discern authenticity when the lines between real life and on-screen performance are so expertly blurred, not just on TV, but maybe everywhere?